Hello, this is the Engaging NLP for Families Tip 7. We're still on the subject of feedback, and I'd like to give you some tips on how to give feedback because it's extremely important how and when you give children feedback, because they're going to jump on your every word. And what they want from you more than anything is love, approval, and so on. And so let's go through how you need to give them feedback so they can learn from it really well. So the first rule really is to make it immediate. Rather than spending days thinking about it or even hours thinking about it and expecting them to remember what happened or what they said, children have very short memories. It's best to say it at the time when it's fresh in their minds what happened. Secondly, be specific. Draw attention to the specific thing that they said or something that you noticed. Avoid reading their mind and making assumptions like, suggesting that you know what was behind it, that they were deliberately trying to do something, deliberately trying to annoy you, or deliberately doing this, that, or the other. Just comment on what specifically you noticed. Thirdly, it needs to be sincere. It needs to come from a place of love and the belief that this is to help them, rather than scoring points or sort of making a point. There's sort of comments like, I've said this before and so on. Just be kind and curious and notice and reflect back what you observed. Don't bring other people into it. This is just what you have observed, not what somebody else has said or whatever. Fourthly, keep it short. I should remind myself of this sometimes because I do tend to waffle on a bit. Keep it short, avoid long sentences and lengthy explanations. Keep it simple. Fifth, what do you want? Tell them what you do want, not what you don't want. We've talked about this before last week. If you remember, it's all about the towards. So yes, focus on what you're looking for, what you really want them to be doing. 6 is avoid the word but. This is a toxic word, a bit like the word don't. The word but, everything after the word but is noticed and exaggerated, and everything before it is forgotten. So when we say something like, oh, you worked really well today, so proud of you, but if you'd only done such and such, that is the bit that they will remember. So you think that you've praised them and you think you've been really complimentary and really looking at the positive side, but they will remember what happened after the but. And lastly, penultimately actually, accept that you're not a mind reader. You don't know what their intentions were, so give them the benefit of the doubt. Assume that they want to please you. Assume a positive intent. Their map of the world is different. Assume that they meant well. And lastly, focus on the behaviour rather than anything else. It's what they've actually done or said. Rather than making it to be about them personally. I'm sure you know all these things and you are going, oh, I know all this. Great, that's fantastic. It's just that this fits in really nicely with the theme of feedback, and I'm about to post on my website another blog post about it, just giving you, I'm using the website blog posts to give you more of the theory really, and I'm using the tips on the Facebook page and obviously on the YouTube channel to be more practical. So I'm hoping that that's clear and that you're finding this helpful.